Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, I'm going to show you my basic kit of tools which I use for paracord work. I've assembled this one over the years and it's probably going to change in the future. But well, up to this point, it has proven to be quite reliable and it has the tools that I need for my basic paracord work. I think that this video is going to benefit both newcomers to the paracord crafts as well as those already established. You can always learn something new from a fellow craftsman. With this said, let's take a look at my basic tools. First thing that you're going to need is going to be a place to store your tools in. In my case, I'm using a tray like this. And this is a tray that I think I pulled out of an old drawer. It looks a bit like a dinner tray, so maybe it is one, I'm not sure. But it lets me sort out the tools and it holds them in one place. It is very important that you have a specific spot where you store your tools so you always know where to look. You can also use a shoebox, or if you're going to be traveling, maybe some sort of a bag or pouch. The first tool is fairly self-explanatory. A tape measure. This one allows you to record lengths of paracord that you use for a project, or it lets you measure cords if you're following specific instructions. The next set of tools are cutting tools. For the cutting tools, a pair of scissors are going to do most of our work. I highly recommend getting scissors with metal ears, since those hold up over time much better. Plastic ears tend to crack once scissors fall off of the table. So definitely invest in scissors with metal ears. The second tool for me is a small knife. The knife can be used to trim ends as well by tensioning up a strand and then cutting an end. Sometimes this is the better way. So a small knife. The final tool, as far as my cutting tools go, is this knife. It serves as a backup knife for me, but mostly I use it for this spike, the Marlin spike. This spike is used to tension up knots, so to tighten them, and also to tie knots. I definitely recommend getting a Marlin spike knife. It is used for trimming ends as well as for tying knots. Next come melting tools, commonly lighters. Lighters are one of those tools that I carry a lot of. On one hand, they are quite affordable, but on the other, they are fairly unreliable. You never know when you're going to run out of fuel in that specific lighter, so you're always going to need to carry a backup, and then maybe a second backup and so on. So pretty much eventually you start hoarding lighters. Now this has become quite tiresome over the years, so I have considered some alternatives. For now, I'm going to start using refillable lighters such as the Zippo lighter. On the other hand, you can choose to use a hot knife which both cuts and melts your cords, or you can use a torch lighter, which again is a refillable lighter which focuses the flame in a specific direction. So all in all, you're going to need various melting tools, with the lighter being an adequate choice. Now the lighter is also excellent because you can showcase some of your knot tying skills. So you can decorate them with various wraps. And finally, a very important group: tying tools. Now for the knot tying tools, the most important supply or tool is going to be a lacing needle. I carry these in a cigar tube, which makes them hard to lose. So first off, I would like to show you the lacing needles that I find useful. First off, I have a lacing needle which you can find at Tandy Leather. It has a flat tip, it is fairly long, it is robust, and it is fairly affordable. This is my recommendation for your first lacing needle. Then I have two variations of the previous needle. These are handmade. One with a taper and a round tip. One which is more flat. Then two shorter variations of the previous lacing needles, so they are again either round or flat, just shorter. Then I have two more specialized needles. This one is used for smaller cord, such as microcord. You use this for stitching, you use it for decorating paracord bracelets and things like that. And finally, another handmade lacing needle, which is more designed for splicing paracord. This is the so-called Manny method lacing needle, which is designed with a sharp tip so that it can pierce your paracord. This one, in my opinion, is very useful, but well, you need to use the Manny method to get the most out of it. Less useful, in my opinion, are curved lacing needles. These can work well in a stitching style of a motion, but generally paracord is not used for stitching, which makes these a bit limited. Now you may find some use in them and they look great, but in my opinion, for general use, these aren't all that great. The other tying tool that I also use is a braider's fed. This one is used to give you leverage for tightening up knots. All in all, these are very nice tools, but sometimes they are a bit sharp. So you dull out the tip and you have a nice tightening tool. Again, they are also a nice base for showcasing your knot tying skills. Here you can see a couple of tools that you can easily transform into tightening tools. So this one on the left is the one that I have shown you earlier, so a braider's fed, the Osborne 477. This one on the right is a scratch awl, the Osborne 478, and again, just like with the braider's fed, you need to dull out the tip in order to make it a nice tightening tool. Both of these are fairly sturdy and I can definitely recommend them. They also make very nice platforms for your covering knots. So this is the basic kit that I use, and I think that every paracord craftsman can get some use out of these tools. So guys, that's it for this video. Thank you and see ya next time.